Oh, hello, people of the internet. I made some patterns. Let's talk about it. Hello, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Carla. I make crocheted things, and I like to talk about them on our Instagram stories this week or last week. Not sure when this is coming out. Sorry. We had a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, and Oogie Boogie was the one that won. I was really happy that he won because I already had this like half completed, which was great, and my hands really appreciated that. I do find that I normally go more towards a Chanel yarn as opposed to a like worsted or finer yarn. Thinner yarn? I don't know. You figure it out. Anyways, I do that because I find that the thinner yarns just make my hands cramp up a bit. So this was a little bit of a hand cramp, and I had to take some breaks so that my fingers didn't completely like seize up, which is why I have some other things done. This guy was really cute. The pattern, I would say overall, was fairly well put together. There were a few spots in it where I didn't fully understand what they were saying. So there was a bit of a trust the process, and it mostly worked. I did have to change the eyes a little bit to get them to work the way that I wanted them to look. I also had a moment of where I was having a hard time with the eyes specifically. You can see the eyes. I think they turned out really well. I'm happy the way that they look now. But when I first did them, they were not right. They did not look right. And so I redid them. And then I had them back on him, and I was like, this just doesn't look right. I don't know what's going on. And I was really frustrated. So I just put it down and I went to sleep, which was probably a good call because when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, I really like the way these eyes look. So sometimes it's important. If the piece is just not working for you, just put it down and try again tomorrow because, yeah, you don't want to mess it up. And I also see me personally, I definitely have an issue with doing, like, I cannot do eyes at the end of the night. Not going to happen. Just do it the next day. Because if I'm doing it at the end of the night, they're 100% they're going to be wonky. They're not, just not going to turn out. So I've learned my lesson. Just first thing I'm going to do is do the eyes. Anyways, but yeah, his stitches also worked out really well. There wasn't a lot of explanation of the stitches, but the stitches in general, like, they're pretty easy. You just kind of stitch across and then you pull the yarn down through. And then I can't remember if it was in there or not, but you also, when you're pulling the yarn down through the center of the stitch, you kind of pull on it a little bit more so you get like this good um this good this good the good wow, the good curve. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. You get the good curve in the back because you are in the back here. You are with your stitches. You are adding that in, so it's already there. And then with the last bit of it, you're pulling it down to get that extra curve in there, which is really cool. And they do the same thing with the arms as well. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it. I'll list the pattern creator and all the stuff above and below as per usual. This pattern is definitely a trust the process. A lot of the times, like, I found that I really needed to be very aware of like reading the pattern and being very specific in what they were saying, and if I didn't understand it, to like go back over it a few times to get it, because I had messed up the back here. Sorry, my lights are really bright. That's just never going to change. I messed up the back here first. I did the lip stitch all the way around, and I was like, that's not right. So I ended up having to take that all out, and then I redid it, and I was like, oh yeah, now they look like lips, because before it didn't. And again, that was just me not reading the pattern properly. Like, all the information was there. But yeah, it's really cute. Like, it has like a good mouth shape to it, and like his little snaky wormy guy fits in there really well. This guy, the pattern is a worry doll kind of themed. If you're not familiar with the way that, like, with what worry dolls are, they're little dolls that you tell all your worries to. You like write a piece, like you write a little note and you stick them in the doll, and the doll is supposed to take your worries away. It's a cute idea. But yeah, as soon as I saw that they had like an Oogie Boogie one, I was like, well, I have to get this. And they do have other worry dolls, and I plan on making some because they were really cute the way that they turned out. I love the stitches around. It worked out really well. I love how the toes have like this really cute point on them. I think it worked out really well. The only gripe that I have with it, which is such a small thing, and it's so ridiculous. The way the pattern is written out, it's written out like an 11 by 8 opposed to an 8 by 11 sheet. So it's landscaped, yeah, landscaped instead of portrait. Personally, I prefer portrait because of how I have things set up on my computer. I know it's such a small thing, and it's so weird to be like, I don't like this thing. But that would be the only thing that I would really change with it. I would, if I were to like rate the pattern, I would definitely give it like a 3.8 bats out of 5. It was a good pattern. I liked it. It was a little bit more on the intricate side. There was definitely a lot of like writing to describe the way that it is. With pictures, I found that the pictures were sometimes a little lacking in certain things. Sometimes there was lots of pictures, and other times there was a few less than I feel like there should have been, or there was just like something that was slightly missing with how everything was put together, if that makes sense. I would say that it is more on the side of like an advanced beginner. Not that there's any difficult stitching, it's just how everything kind of goes together, and the like trusting the process that you're doing all the stitches correct and that you're going to be able to place everything. So it is a little bit more advanced. It's definitely not a beginner, but probably more of an intermediate. If you're an adventurous beginner, then you could give her a go. But they do also have other patterns that are like the worry doll themed, but they're not like this. Just because there is like a little bit more that goes along with the pattern. But I really enjoyed it. I think I would, if I were to do it again, I would definitely do it in like a Chanel yarn instead of the worsted weight. But I was happy with the way that it turned out, and like I think he's really, really cute. Like really cute. But not something that's like a quick, let's get this done, we're gonna be able to complete it in like an hour or so kind of pattern. Definitely something that's gonna take you a little bit of time. I don't know how much time that it actually took me to do, just because I did it in two like chunks, like a year spanning chunk of time. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how long it took me to do the base. But I would say that it probably took me in total about 6 hours to complete, just because it is a little bit more intricate, which doesn't necessarily make like it a bad pattern or anything like that. It's just, if you were thinking about making it for markets or anything like that, that probably wouldn't be like exactly where you would want it to be. But still super cute. Love him. And I hope other people do. He will be at our next market. So the next pattern that I wanted to talk about is this little cutie here. It's the Pterodactyl pattern. I'll list the pattern designer and whatnot above. This one's part of a 4-pack. This one's the Pterodactyl from that 4-pack. Really cute. It's a low-sew one. I think you only sew the head and the wings on. I did change it just a little bit. I made it so that the wings attached to the feet because apparently that's what's supposed to happen. There is supposed to be some other bend in the arm, but it's a low sew pattern, so there's only so much I can do. But I think it worked out really well with it being attached that way. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Very simple. There's just like kind of one color change. Okay, maybe technically two color changes because the wings, you put a different color on the rim. But yeah, so I would say like mostly fairly beginner friendly, because it is fairly simple. Like, might you not have the most perfect piece? Probably. But I would still say, like, give it a try. There is a bobble stitch, so there's some slightly more advanced stitches, but again, not overly difficult. The way that the pattern is laid out is really nice. It is my favorite format of an 8x11. And then there is a ton of pictures, a ton of description. Everything is formatted the same way, which is really nice. It's consistent, and like you read the instructions once, and then throughout the whole pattern you know how everything is going to go. And with this designer specifically, generally all of her patterns are set up the same way. Or at least all the patterns that I've seen. There may be some older versions that aren't set up that way, but with this pattern specifically, and a lot of our other patterns that I've done, they're all set up in the same format, which is really nice because when it's set up in the same format, you're like, oh, okay, like I know all of this. I don't necessarily need to read these things. There is a lot of description that she puts in all of her patterns, which is super awesome. And it's so nice to see that care put into the pattern, that it's not something that's just thrown together and it's like, oh, somebody buy it. There's a lot of care and attention to detail. So very happy with that. I would rate this pattern like probably like 4.5 out of 5 bats, just because of the wings. They're supposed to be forward. Easy project to bring on the go, which is also awesome because you only need like 2 colors. And really, I mean, if you wanted to make them all one color, you could too. The last thing that I wanted to talk about today is a little bit about Christmas. I have a question first, which is, this is my little Grinch cat. I finished him last night and he's uber cute. I made him have a little thingy. I don't know. I thought it was cute. But I feel like he's still not quite screaming Grinch to me. So, like, I don't know. Do I need to make him like a little Santa hat? Do I need to make him have a little cutie mark of like a tiny heart? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think how I should make him more Grinch. Or maybe like a weird scarf. I could do a scarf around him. I don't know. I also did ask this in our Instagram stories, so we'll see what happens. So the last thing that I want to talk about is my Christmas tree. Forever, I have always just been like, I will just throw the ornaments on the tree and we'll call her good. Since meeting Amber, which I mean, it's taken a while for her to wear off on me. But I now, I really like to do fun things with my Christmas tree. The last couple of years, I've done like a gnome style horror Christmas tree. I don't know. I have a red tree, so everything kind of looks a little spooky. I'll stick a picture above, you can see it. But I've kind of gotten a little tired of the gnomes, and Small Human took a bunch of them for her Christmas tree, which I'll also stick above because she just finished decorating her Christmas tree and it's so cute. But yeah, so I decided this year that I wanted to do something different. Originally, I had in my head that I wanted to make bats, and I was gonna make the bats out of like pom-poms, just like cheapy pom-poms. So they were like weird little furry bats. I thought that would look really cute on my Christmas tree. I ordered stuff, didn't work out, sent it back. Um, because the listing was wrong and it listed it for like 12 or whatever, and then I got one, so didn't really work out properly. Ended up sending that back. So I was thinking about what else I could do with these bat wings that I got, because I still wanted to make bats for the Christmas tree because I think it would be so cute with my red Christmas tree and these black bats. So cute. So I found these ornament ball things, like the round ones. And they're velvety. They're like, they have like the weird flocking stuff on them. Apparently they're popular. I have no idea. I found them and they were actually hard to find because the first Michaels that I went to had one box. That was all they have. And I don't know if it was just that they didn't have all their stock out, like the Michaels that was down, like the other Michaels that I went to, because I live kind of in between two Michaels. So I just don't know if that one just like either had their stock out earlier than this one that I went to today, or what it was. But yeah, the one that I went to only had one box, and I was like, so I ordered it online to this other store, and then I went and picked them up. And they're so pretty. So I do have to be careful with them because they are glass on the inside, but I normally have my tree up, so it's not an issue. But anyway, so what my plan is to stick the little bat wings on them, and they'll have like little fuzzy bat wing, like and then I also got these slightly larger ones. I wanted to get the same size, but they didn't have it, so I got slightly larger ones and less of them. Of these, the white ones. So I'm going to have bats and ghosts on my Christmas tree. And then I finally got around to getting new lights for my Christmas tree, because the lights that I have on my Christmas tree, which I still will use somewhere in my house. I think I'm gonna take down something else and put them up. I've had those lights for as long as I've been an adult, and I have no idea where those lights came from. They were old when I got them. So maybe a slight fire risk. Haven't lit anything on fire yet, and they're still working. So I'll probably stick them up somewhere else, but they're so cute and so weird. They're like little ghosts, of course, because I love ghosts. They're like these little ghosts and eyeballs. I love them, but it just won't go with like the way that my Christmas tree is. But my question is for you is, if you've watched this far into my ramblings, what should my Christmas tree topper be? I will also eventually post this on like social media, but I wanted to ask you all first, especially since you've sat through me rambling forever. What should my Christmas topper be? So the lights that I got for my tree, they're this like, I'll stick a picture up here so you can see it, because I'm not good at describing things. Anyways, so I'll have these fuzzy bats, which I haven't made yet, so you just have to imagine the fuzzy balls. I can stick the pictures of the balls up here. Fuzzy balls with bats and ghosts. So they'll just have ghost faces. Maybe not like this, but a ghost face on said thing. Anyways, so there'll be that, and the lights on a red Christmas tree. And then what should my topper be? Should my topper be a ghost? Should it be a bat? Should I crochet it? I think that could be fun, like a topper. And I normally do have some sort of weird topper on my tree. Like, I think last year I had Krampus, and then I've had like, oh my god, why can I not think of the name? Vultures. There we go. Vultures. I've had all kinds of things. One year I had a topper of a twisted balloon animal was the topper of my Christmas tree. So each year I always have like a special piece for the topper, like for the top of my Christmas tree. So I'm just trying to think of this year what should be my topper. So let me know in the comments below what you think it should be, and then maybe we'll go to a poll on the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So that's it for me today. If you want to keep watching my face talk about crochet stuff and other weird craft stuff, click on the videos above, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye!